Are you stuck in a cycle of complaining and disappointment in a relationship that used to be great? I can show you how to break that hellish cycle. Welcome to Theresa's Tips for Transcendence. This is the third in my series of conscious relationship videos, and today's topic is heaven versus hell. My name is Theresa Schley Valenzuela, author of Penelope and the Divine, a fictional personal narrative about a sensual woman born with special powers and her journey through the world of erotic dance and toward spiritual transcendence. One of the main things that prevent people from having conscious relationship is expecting their significant other to fix their problems for them. When we feel these emotions of loneliness, fear of rejection, and insecurity, which is basically feeling that we're not good enough, we're trained by society to believe that we need to turn to our beloved to fix our problem. So what we end up doing is we burden our beloved with the issues, and then we end up getting angry at them because they're not fixing the issue right. Women tend to do this more than men, but both men and women have unrealistic expectations, especially when it comes to love and relationships. The truth is that these insecurities and fears of rejection are deep-seated wounds. They're part of the human condition. It's unrealistic to expect someone else to heal these types of wounds for you. You must heal them for yourself. Someone who already feels lonely and is with a partner that doesn't fix their loneliness right, then feels insecure, and maybe then that leads to jealousy. This type of, building kind of snowball emotion thing is what leads to relationship hell. No one else can fix our loneliness or insecurity for us, so what happens is we end up grasping at things just to try and fix what making us feel bad. This is especially hard for people who aren't in a relationship, and they think that being in a relationship is going to fix their loneliness or their insecurities. They often think that they would feel better. They would feel less lonely, less insecure, just better overall if they had a special someone in their life. Well, I'm here to tell you the best, quickest way to get that special someone in your life is to clear up your own feelings of insecurity and loneliness. Never expect your beloved to be responsible for your own happiness. When we expect someone else, our beloved, to fix our issues, we have no hope of really discovering what the issues are and allowing them to be healed. The next time the issue comes around again, we go to that same external source to have the issue fixed again, but it's never enough. That person can never do enough. So this ends up creating pent-up resentments, and that leads to sniping and complaining, which is relationship hell. Unexpressed resentments will suck a relationship into hell faster than anything. And once you're there, you have a really hard time getting out. There's never enough assistance coming from outside of you to heal these types of deep-seated wounds and insecurities. Don't just think, oh, if he would just call me every day, it would be so much better. Or if he just knew how to buy me the right present, I would feel so much better. Or if I could just find the right person, I wouldn't feel so insecure. When I began to heal my deep-seated wounds and insecurities about love, I literally forced myself to feel the emotions. I didn't turn to alcohol or food or anything else that I would normally do to kind of escape the uncomfortable feelings. I just sat with them, had a few good cries, wrote in my journal a lot, and that helped me to get to the other side. Once I got to the other side, I realized that once again, the answer lies within. When we are so wrapped up in these negative emotions of loneliness and all that, what we're really forgetting is that we are source. We're connected to source, and source is about well-being. Source is about unconditional love. Source is about pure love and happiness. And these insecurities and loneliness and all that, it's just forgetting that we're in alignment with source. So once you realize that you are source, your massive source being, turning to your beloved, another little human on this planet, doesn't make any sense at all. What makes sense is reaching inside, clearing out everything that's getting in the way of your true and ultimate connection to Source. And once you remove those blocks, then you can see that the sunshine and the light and the love is already there. It's always there. So after my little process of journaling and crying, I got to the core of the issue. I was so surprised to discover, after decades of feeling this way, that these fears, insecurities, and this loneliness that I had that sort of traveled with me actually had nothing to do with love. I was ascribing them to love like it was part and parcel of loving someone when they really have nothing at all to do with love. They have to do with being a human being on this planet. My particular set of life experiences blessed me with my particular set of insecurities. What does this have to do with love or having a beloved? Absolutely nothing at all. I finally saw that the two things were completely separate from each other. Once I realized that these fears and insecurities were only about me, they became so much more easy to manage. I was able to forgive myself for feeling them, forgive myself for wasting so much time in so many years putting this stuff on another person. What I also discovered is clearing up these kinds of wounds is much like moving through grief or loss. If you deny them and push them down, you have no hope of releasing the feelings. They just stay there and fester. You must move through them in order to get to the other side. So take some time, do whatever you need to do to really dive in and experience and find out more about your feelings of loneliness, your fear of insecurity, your fear of abandonment, your fear of rejection, all these things that are negative, sort of the shadow side to love. And whether it takes vigorous exercise, walks in nature, journaling, crying, whatever you need to do to get at the root of it, to discover what really is it for you that's creating these negative emotions, then you have an opportunity to release them. Name them and claim them and release them. Let them go. Free yourself from the bondage that they put you in and free yourself from expecting someone else to heal them for you. Really, when you really get to the root of what they are, you see what they are, you see that they're really not that big of a deal. Even, I had this stuff floating around for decades, and once I saw it for what it was like, oh yeah, that's just another thing that I get to work on, and disconnecting it from the concept of love made it so much more manageable. I wanted to use some tarot cards today to kind of illustrate the point that I'm trying to make. So let's see if I can do this so you can see them. So now, this is not a lesson about tarot per se. The symbology on the tarot cards explain very well the point that I'm trying to make. So for those of you who know a lot about tarot, just let me have some license here with my symbology. What we have is the devil. Let me see if I can, I don't know if you can see this. Okay, here we go. The devil over here and the lovers. Oh, shoot. Okay, we have the devil and the lovers. It's weird because this video is sort of like a mirror image, so I'm working with a mirror image. So if you'll notice in the card, it's basically the same two people. Now, just let go of your preconceived notions of what the devil means. It's just symbolism, okay? But it sort of is representative of relationship hell. Here we have the two people, and if you'll notice, they have chains around their necks, and they're kind of looking down. What's interesting about the chains, though, is they're big enough to where if the people were paying attention, they could easily lift those over their heads. So as you can see, the chains aren't choking them. They're just sort of loosely around their throat. That means anytime that they want, they can lift the chains off of them. They're just ignorant. And by ignorance, I mean uneducated. They don't have the experience. They don't have the understanding that this is the situation that they're in, that they can easily change it. Now, what you have over here is, in the place of the devil on the other card is a huge angel. It's not, let's just say it's a huge angel. Won't go into details. And these two people are free. They have no chains around their neck. They're basically more expanded. There's a sense of freedom around them. So this is representative of relationship heaven. Now compare this again to the devil card, which is relationship hell. It's dark. They're looking down. They have the chain around their neck, and they don't realize that they can free themselves. When you're looking down instead of up to source, in a worldly sense, to someone else, to fix what's wrong with you, you're always going to be in hell. When you're looking up and you're remembering source, you can remember that you have that big angel, that big source behind you, and you are in relationship heaven. And to get from hell to heaven is as simple as taking that chain and releasing it and pulling it off of your neck and letting it go. The chain is the negative emotions. The chain is believing that those negative emotions are who you are. The chain is believing that those negative emotions have to be fixed by another person, another human, when in reality, if you can just lift that off your head and be free, be completely and utterly free and open to light and open to love. So my tip for today is take responsibility for taking that chain and lifting it off of yourself and letting it go. Releasing yourself from relationship hell and allowing yourself to ascend into relationship heaven. Thank you for the opportunity to share this information with you today. As all of Penelope's teachers say in my novel, Namaste. You are divine.